Hello and welcome back to Nintendo 24/7, the only show on the internet that is back in the flesh after having a sick day last week. Still sorry about that, by the way. But in today's video, we're going to be doing my first impressions of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. Now, the reason it is my first impressions of the game is because, Pokemon games and a bunch of other games take tons of hours to complete, and I personally don't want to stay up till 3 in the morning playing Pokemon to have to come and then film a video in 10 minutes. So yeah, that's my first impressions, and I also don't want my thoughts of the game to be taken as the after a day to be taken as my final thoughts on the game. Because my opinion will probably change as time goes on with more events, or maybe even the addition of DLC into the game. So with that, let's get straight into the video. So, because there is a lot more stuff to cover compared to Splatoon, with Pokemon being such a more massive franchise, I really can't split this first impressions video into separate categories like I did with Splatoon. So I'm probably more going to just go over what comes into my head while I'm filming that I think is really different, or really not different, than what I think it should be. Or if it's not coming across, basically, what I like about the game and what I don't like, and how different it is compared to Generation Beats. Honestly, the first thing that I can think of that is completely different than any other Pokemon game is the open world aspect of it. Now that there is 3 different storylines for you to choose from, and you don't even have to play any of them to enjoy the game, is fantastic. So the open world concept is essentially you don't have to follow the path, and there's not a gym order. If you want to go to Gym 7 right after you get your starter Pokemon, you can. Or if you just want to go and do the gyms in their orders, then you can. If you want to skip the gyms entirely and go defeat Team Star, which will be something else we'll talk about, then you can. And if you just want to go hunt the Titans, then you can do that as well. Or if you want to know all of them, you can do that as well. There is a ton of ways that you can go about this, which honestly makes me have a lot more, I don't want to say hope, but a lot more passion to actually continue it, because I can go at my own pace depending on what I want to do, instead of having to only do the gym challenges. And along with the open world aspect, there's also the lighting legendaries. I don't remember their names. It'll probably be somewhere on the screen. But what's really cool about them is they're basically replacing HMs, and that's necessary, and the bikes as well. And I think that it's necessary to just move on from the bikes and the HMs, because those are stuff from the Generation 7 and beyond, and we don't need them anymore. We are in a new age of Pokemon where the games have to be incredibly easy, so then we can get more people into the franchise. So, like I was saying about the open world aspect, I think that the next thing that really comes to mind that's completely different than any other game is the battling. And it is very reminiscent, in my eyes, of how it is in Legends Arceus, but not in a way, because you can't move your character freely during the battles like you can in Legends Arceus. So I'd say that the battles are like a combination between the two. And honestly, I enjoyed the battles in Legends Arceus, but I feel like they were lackluster. I felt like they lost a ton of character and a ton of pizzazz and sass, almost in a way, than the original core Pokemon titles and their battles. So I think combining them together is really cool. How you engage in a Pokemon battle is also different than any other game in the franchise. So you can either do the Legends Arceus and Golden Shield approach by stepping on them, or you can throw your Pokeball at them, which is the Legends Arceus approach. And you can catch them unaware like you could in Pokemon Legends Arceus, meaning that they were easier to battle because they might not move on the first turn. And I just enjoy this format of battling, because it really does feel like so much easier to catch Pokemon and just walk up to them and throw a Pokeball at them and start a battle. However, it's not as easy as Legends Arceus, which was just throw a Pokeball, catch a Pokemon. Simple as that. Which is honestly kind of upsetting, but also in the same sense, what was I expecting? It's a cool Pokemon title, and Legends Arceus was an idea that helped to build off of to get to the idea that we are at. And with the idea of the battles being changed, there's also terrestrialization. which is the gimmick of this generation. And honestly, I prefer Dynamax and Mega Evolution. Z-moves are also alright, but this one just kind of feels to me. I think it's cool, and maybe once I get more Tail-typing Pokemon where they change their type once they become Celestialized, I'll like it more. But honestly, right now, it kind of just seems like Dynamax, but without the, oh my god, it's big. Now it's just made of crystals and diamonds. But I think they were going in the right direction with the gimmicks, kind of going back to that whole idea of Mega Evolution. Because one of Mega Evolutions actually changed typing, which was really cool. Things that completely changed with this game was the idea that this is not just the gym challenges as your main storyline, which is what I was alluding to in the previous sections. So there's the 3 main storylines, which Victory Road, which is just the battle the gym leaders, and then go become a champion. But the champion is different. I'm not there yet, but from what they're like foreshadowing in the story, is it looks like you like it's not a traditional Elite Four champion battle, or it's not like it is in Sword and Shield, but it's a bunch of trainers and then battle the champion. And then the other one is the Titan like battles, I guess you could say. Spoiler alert, put the red text and have someone saying it in VO, like all those like channels that spoil movies, I don't know. But the son of the professor is like a cook or something, and he like wants to get these rare ingredients to become a good chef. So you have to go battle the Titans. There's 5 of them, and they're like big Pokemon. If you remember that crab Pokemon from the trailers that they were always showing, it's that. I mean, it looks fun, honestly. It's a different format than what I'm used to. And the next one is completely different than anything we've seen in any other game. And that is, of course, the Operation Starfall or Team Star, which is essentially you're going and you're hunting down Team Star and their hideouts to completely get rid of them. They're essentially the troublemakers at your school, which is something also completely different from any other Pokemon game, which will probably be the next one. But what it is essentially you're trying to go and hunt them down. And you throw out 3 Pokemon and they fight each other. You don't do anything. This isn't turn-based. They're fighting on their own. So hopefully your Pokemon will have level enough to take them down. And typing doesn't matter either, so hopefully you win. It's like a roll of the dice. It's a luck of the dice thing. Hopefully it's like gambling, kind of. Hopefully if you're streaming this on Twitch, you don't get banned, because gambling is not banned on Twitch. But it honestly looks fun, and I can't wait to actually try it out once I get to that part in the story. The next thing I really wanted to focus on was the fact that it takes place around a school, which is kind of similar to how it was in Sun and Moon, but this time you're not tied to the school. Like, the whole idea of the fact that it's open world and you can go do whatever you want is because you're doing a like school project where you go and learn stuff. So it's kind of interesting, it's kind of fun. And now we're kind of getting into the iffy territory. And I said the main iffy thing for me is your rival. And honestly, she is really cool. I think her name is Nomura. And honestly, I really enjoy her as a rival. She's fun to battle with, she has fun passion, and honestly, I can see a good character through that. Better than Hop and Hal from Gens 8 and 7, respectively. However, my only issue is she's supposed to be a star battler, yet me, as a novice, can beat her very easily. If she is a star battler, then she should know how to beat me in one shot. And that is kind of embarrassing. If you are her, then you should be ashamed of yourself, because you're getting beaten by a novice. And honestly, as much as I like that whole idea of like battling like with Tiled, not with Tiled, but she's not with Tiled, but like someone that is a champion, but is now like your rival, is cool. But I just don't see like a good way to be like, yeah, you can beat them, because theoretically they should be kicking your butt every single time you battle them. So now we're getting to the kind of gross section, and obviously the first thing I will mention is the bugs, and that is my main complaint. I love this game, but the bugs in the game, and the glitches, and the pop-in is just disgusting. It's embarrassing for the Pokemon. it's good. The games are good. I love the games, but your game should not be having pop-in. And your games, like if I throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon, that Pokemon should not take 3 minutes to battle me because it's loading. It should be instantaneously, should be getting straight to the battling. And I think that's an issue because if you're trying to market to little children, then their attention spans won't be held if they have to wait like a second or two to load that Pokemon battle. And along with that pop-in and stuff, I've noticed that there's a lot of like the models clipping inside of objects. Like in the main tutorial section, when you have the 3 startles running around you to see which one you should pick, they don't have any collision. And I was kind of like, that's kind of weird. I can run right inside of my Fuecoco. And then also, when you let Pokemon go out of their Pokemon balls, it's also like that as well. They have no collision. I can walk right inside Fuecoco or Fido, and it doesn't matter. But let's do one more good thing instead of leaving off on a bad note. New Pokemon. I love the new Pokemon in this region. They are so much fun, they are so cute, and I love all of them. Paldean Moople is like my child. I love him. Please more Paldean Moople. I need more Paldean Moople. He's like, all of the Pokemon that they have made, I always looked at them and I was like, they just look eh. But I'm looking at it now, and all the Pokemon that they have in the game are so good, and they're so like adorable. I can't wait to get a plush of Fido and Paldean Moople. Paldean Moople is my son. I love him. Okay, one more thing that's kind of cool and kind of positive to help combat the bugs. The online is really cool. I like everything about it. It's kind of fun. It's enjoyable. It's better than the Wycombe from Sword and Shield. The like running, I think it's called the Union Room, the Union platform. Like getting to play with your friends in like the actual game is so cool. I haven't done it yet, but it looks like a lot of fun. And my only issue is I feel like some of the online stuff is kind of laggy, but that's to be expected. It is running off Nintendo Switch after all. So let's recap, and I'm gonna use some cooking analogies to help me with this. So imagine Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are some brownies. So what you do is you put the brownies into the oven. And the brownies, the battle tastes really good. Because the battle, you know, it's got the Pokemon, it's got the open world, it's got the online. So we shove it into the oven, but we only bake it for 10 minutes instead of 50. So we pull the brownies out of the oven, and then we put them down, and we put a spoon into them. When we taste it, it still tastes good. However, the game doesn't look good, because it's only half-baked. I hope that recap made sense. Essentially what I'm saying is there's a lot of bugs in the game, and that shouldn't detract from the fact that the game is really good. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, and make sure to subscribe, and make sure to comment if you want to see something else Pokemon Scarlet and Violet related. And I will catch you in the next one.